So I'd like to start this conversation with I understand it's going to offend some of you. Some of you may find the words I speak to be distasteful or unnecessary. But I mean it when I say that I have a need, nay, a want, I don't need to say this, but a want to tell you about an experience I've had. Ever since COVID kind of, happened for the little whiles it's been happening, I've been kind of into recipe bloggers. And by this, I mean not reading them just for funsies, but I wanted to cook more. I don't want to bake, I want to cook. And when I want to find good recipes, like recipes I want your grandma's old chili recipe. I want your grandpa's favorite meatloaf recipe. I want your mom's mac and cheese. I don't want the thing that Guy Fieri figured out. I'm sure it's fucking delicious. I don't want Gordon Ramsay to walk me through step by step how to make my fucking ribeye delicious. I don't want that. I want that home cooked feeling of food. And the best way I found to find that is through recipe bloggers. Now, obviously, if we're talking about recipe bloggers, you all know the cardinal sin of the giant multi-paragraph long stories they put ahead of them of how hard their mothers were and how dry that winter was and how the summers are hotter then than they are now. And after you scroll and scroll and scroll, and this joke has gone on long enough. Oh, there's the recipe. You finally get past all that, and it's not that big of a deal. Scrolling through the massive story only causes minor psychic damage and minimal arthritic damage in your scrolling fingers. It's not a giant problem. It's pretty easily handled and solved. But I've discovered something that's kind of happened ever since I've started reading these. A common term, phrase, descriptor is given to the food better than sex. We're talking pizza that outweighs the sex. We're talking about sashimi cut better than the gnocchi. We're talking about a burger tastier than the birds and the bees. We're talking about a cake that's better than a good old knob grind. And we're talking about ribs more mouth-watering than a shaft service. And the idea here is, I've had these recipes. I've had the quote-unquote pizza greater than the old Wookie, Nookie, Wimp Womp Boopy. I've had the sashimi. I've had the burger. I've had the cake. I've had the cake twice. It's a pretty good cake. It's not that good, though, but it's good. I've had the ribs. And I've had a whole plethora of other recipes that are pretty damn tasty. And all quote to be better than sex. But I have to tell you something, dear reader. Something, dear listener. They're not. And it's made me start to wonder if all these recipe bloggers are maybe not quite having all their needs met. And makes you worry about society as a whole. Yeah. That's the thought. Bye.